Now, what is the binomial theorem? Binomial theorem is very useful because it allows you to expand anything of this form. A is a term, B is a term, it can be minus B or plus B, okay, to any power. So binomial theorem allows you to do that. Okay, right now, most of you will be able to expand this without any problem. You just square this, and then this times 2. Okay, so that's what you can do now. This one also you can do because you can just expand this, then multiply by one more of this, and you will be able to get the answer by doing expansion like this. Okay, you'll be able to get the answer. But this binomial theorem that we're going to go through now, right, doesn't require you to step by step expand like that. There's actually a so-called formula for you to expand to any power you want, and this theorem can actually be found in your formula sheet. Okay, so this is your formula sheet that you'll get in your exam paper. You will have this, which we learned in chapter 1. Then binomial expansion, right? This is actually the formula. Okay, but today we are just going to do this first part here, but I'm not going to really do this. I'm going to show you my method, which is like a factory method. If you use my method, you don't really need to refer to this. Now, I don't like to refer to this because some students, when they refer to this, the A and the N, the A, B, and the N are sometimes actually confuse them because the question don't have A, don't have B, don't have N. Okay, but you try using the method that I'm going to go through with you. Is quite a simple method if you follow me closely. Okay, so let's say you have this. According to the formula that you see in your formula sheet, right, this is actually like your A. This number 3 is like your A. The plus B, your B is actually like the minus X. And your N, which is a power, is 6. Okay? So how do you expand this? We are not going to expand it like the traditional method that I showed you just now. We are going to use the binomial theorem. Now, how do you use the binomial theorem? Firstly, you must understand that when you expand this, right, there's actually a pattern. Okay, there's actually a pattern that's being generated, and the pattern actually comes with this constant that we call, or coefficient that we call, the binomial coefficient. Okay, so let's examine this question in detail first before we go into this binomial expansion. Later I'll show you how to use a calculator to calculate this binomial expansion. So in this question number 1, right, they ask you to expand this. Now expand this means you need to open up the bracket lah. Alright, and they want it in ascending powers of x. Now ascending means increasing powers of x, right? So it could be like x, something x, then either plus or minus something x squared, then plus or minus something x cubed, so on and so forth. So what we mean by ascending powers of x, it means that after expanding, okay, I show you the answer. Your powers should be in ascending order. You see, this is x power 0, then x power 1, power 2, power 3, power 4, so on and so forth. So as long as the powers are increasing, you have answered the question already. Okay, but if your powers are decreasing, then you have done it wrongly lah. Okay, so now that we have understood what is ascending powers of x, we have also examined what they want us to do. They want us to expand this. Let us see how we can do the expansion. Okay, now you take a look at this. They say expand this. That means they want you to expand it fully. Okay, so how do I do it? You must understand that when you expand this to power 6, or for that matter to any power, there would always be what we call a binomial coefficient multiplied by this 3 multiplied by this 3 to the power of something, multiplied by this other term. So you see there's one term and two terms here. That's why it's called bi. This binomial expansion, the bi means two, means that there are two terms inside this bracket. 1, 2. That's why it's called binomial. Okay? You are expanding something with two terms inside. That's why it's called binomial expansion. Okay, so 3 is one of them, minus x is the other one. Alright? Now, what I need you to understand is the method I'm teaching you, right, requires you to write the binomial coefficient first. So how do I write the binomial coefficient? Very simple. If it's power 6, you write the 6 at the top, and it's always 0 here. Okay? So you write 6, 0, then plus the sign in front of this binomial coefficient is always positive. Okay? Then 6, 1. Alright? Followed by this 3 and minus x. Later that I write, okay? Then 6, 2. Then the 3 and the minus x. Then 6, 3. Followed by the 3 and the minus x. Then 6, 4. Followed by the 3 and the minus x. Then plus 6, 5. Followed by the 3 and the minus x. Then lastly 6, 6. You stop. The final one, right, will be 6, 6. Once you reach the same number as the power, the top here, you stop. Alright, so this is how we do the binomial expansion, but not complete yet. What I've done so far is just to write down the binomial coefficient of each resulting term. Okay? Now, next, I'm going to fill in the blanks for this power, this power. I'm not filling the powers for each of these terms yet. I've not done that. Okay, how do I fill in the power for each of these terms? This is when I'm going to use an analogy, okay, to help you remember. If you look at the screen here, you can see this ant here, right? Ant. This is an ant. Okay? If you just look at the head of the ant, it's something like the head here is something like brackets. Okay? Without this head here Then you can think of this antenna. This is the antenna. This is the antenna. Okay, I draw a bob there. Okay, so this first term, just now if you remember, is 3, right? The power of the 3 will be decreasing when you read from left to right Whereas the power of the second term inside the bracket, minus x, you'll be increasing. Okay, so I use this and will help me remember which one is decreasing, which one is increasing. Okay, so you can do that also. So let's go back to the question where we continue the binomial coefficient. After that, finish after the binomial coefficient, right? This first term here, using the antenna of the ant, can you see that this is like the ant head when you see the ant from the front? Okay, so this term, the power is going to decrease. Decrease from what? Maximum power is 6. So it's going to decrease from 6. The next one is going to be 5. Okay, decrease. Every time it decreases, it decreases by 1. 6, 5, 4, then 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, then for the second term, the power is going to increase. Okay, meaning increase from what? The lowest power is 0 lah. The lowest power is 0, highest power is 6. So 0, can you see that these two always add up to 6? You see 0, 1, you see add up to 6. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice the power always add up to 6. Power always add up to 6. Power always add up to 6. Huh? Okay, so this is done already. Once you have written this down, right, the examiner, the marker will give you marks for this. So this is my method. I don't need to use the formula sheet at all. Okay, and it's very fast. You just need to do the binomial coefficient first, then do this 3 step by step, then do this minus x. You must remember to put the minus inside the bracket. Otherwise, if you don't close the bracket like what I do here, you'll be marked wrong. Okay, now after you've done this, now we need to know how to use the calculator to evaluate 6, choose 0. This is the way to read this is 6, choose 0. Another way to write this is 6, choose 0. So this is the same as this. And how do you read this? It is 6, choose 0. Next time when you study permutation combination at higher level, you will learn this as 6, choose 0. Alright? But now it's out of your syllabus already, so you don't need to know this. Okay, so how do I do this 6, choose 0 on the calculator? You take a look at your calculator. There is this, okay, I look at Casio first. There is this yellow key here above the division sign or division button. Okay, this is the N, choose R. Okay, N is the 6, choose then whatever number there is. Okay, at the bottom. Okay, so how do I press 6, choose 0? You press 6. Then you press shift. Okay, because I want the yellow key, so shift, then press the division sign here to activate the choose the C here. Can you see the C here? Then I want 0, right? So it's 0. Okay, the answer will be a 1. You will find that anything choose 0 is 1. Okay? Next lesson, then I show you the formula for this, the manual formula for this without using calculator. But I need to teach you the calculator method first because most often in exam you use the calculator method. Okay? So what you need to do, very simple, you press your calculator 6, choose 0, then you press times 3 to the power of 6. Then you times this minus, you must also factor in. Minus 1 to the power of 0 is 1, right? So it's times 1. You will get 729. Okay, can you try pressing? If you can't get this particular answer, you PM me, I will teach you how to do it. Okay, now same thing here, 6, choose 1. I will just show you this 6, choose 1. It's the same old story. 6, then you press the shift key, okay, to activate the yellow button, and then you go to 1, and then you get 6. Anything choose 1 is that number itself. Okay, but if you don't know, you just press calculator, and then you press 3 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 5. You will get 1458. Why my answer is different? Correct. 1 minus 1458 because of the minus here, times minus. Alright, so you go and try, see whether you can get all the answers. If you can't, you don't know how to do it, let me know. So that's it, done already. Okay, meaning to say, if you were to manually expand this using what you know in lower sec, right, you will get this answer, same answer as me, but it will take a much longer time than me to expand this particular expression. Okay, so this is the binomial expansion in action. Alright, very powerful theorem. Okay, now of course we will now go to like exam question. In a real exam, right, they will not sorry, before I go on, I want to show you the Casio I showed you already, right? I want to show you the sharp calculator, which is the button for the sharp calculator for you to press. Okay, so those of you who use sharp, I believe most of you use this model. You look for this N choose R, NCR, okay? It should be above your number 5 key, that button, okay? So same thing, because you want to activate the orange key, so you press the second F, then you press this, you will activate this, alright? So let's say you want 6 choose 3, you press 6, then you press the shift button, then you press this, then you press 3, you press equal, that's your answer. Okay? So that's how you use the sharp calculator. If you have problems using, please let me know. Alright? Now tomorrow, we will probably go through this, depending on whether we can cover lots of questions or not. I'll teach you how to manually use this. You will be using this for the more difficult questions. Okay? Now back to this particular question number 2. Now question number 2, they ask you to find the first 3 terms of this. Now in a real O-level question and in your exam, it won't be a question like number 1. Number 1 is just like a warm-up. They won't be so as in silly as to make you work out such a long thing, okay, when every step is like the same. Okay? What do I mean by every step is the same? What I mean is, if you know how to find this, you know how to find this, you know how to find this, you definitely can find all the rest. So they will normally ask you just to find like the first 3 terms or first 4 terms of an expansion. Okay? So you don't need to find all like that, no need. Okay, so number 1, don't come out in O-level exams. Okay? Now number 2 is more like it. Number 2A, they ask you something, then 2B is a continuation. So you can see something like that. Okay, so let's take a look at number 2A. You can try first before you look at my solution. Okay, remember always to read the question, see what they want. They only want the first 3 terms. They don't want all. They want the first 3 terms only. Okay, and they want in ascending powers of x. Alright. So, ascending powers of x, this one you take note later, okay? So let's see, if I were to expand this using our end, the end friend, I draw the antenna of the end. I like to draw this antenna. It makes this question like looks easier. Okay, then when I go from left to right, this is descending. That means this power is going down, this power is going up. Oh, if this power is going down, that means it's going to be descending. If I were to use this method, it's descending. Then my answer will be wrong. You see, if I were to work it out, my answer is wrong. Because you see, is x to the power 20, then x to the power 18, then x to the power 16. This is descending order, but they want ascending order. Okay? So this is wrong. I purposely put here. This is wrong. Okay? Yeah, and I show you how to do first, because now we are having a lesson, so I just show you, although this method is wrong, later I'll show you the correct one, alright? Okay, firstly, they only want the first 3 terms. So how many binomial coefficients will there be? There has to be only 3, right? So I'm going to draw the 3, 1, it's always plus, 2, 3. So you're like a factory worker, You now do the binomial thing first. Then later you do the x square. Then you do the minus 2. In this way, if you do it this way that I'm teaching you, you will never make careless mistake, okay? Because you only focus on one thing at a time, okay? Now, how do I do the expansion binomial coefficient? This power here will be here. And in always, whether it's ascending or descending power, right? It is always 0. Then 1. Then 2. Okay? Now you see, we have covered the binomial coefficient already. Now we go to the next thing, which is our first term here. There are 2 terms inside the bracket. One is this x squared, the other one is this minus 2. So I'm going to do the x squared first. I write all the x squared first. Then I write the power. Is it ascending or descending power for this first term? Is going down, down. Down means descending. Descending from what? The highest power is 10. So 10, then 9, then 8. See? Done. Okay? Now I'm going to do the last one, which is my second term, minus 2. That's why it's called binomial. Huh? Okay, minus 2 is the power is going to increase, ascending order. Alright? But it's increasing from what? It increases from 0 all the way to 10. So I start from 0, then 1, then 2. Finish. Okay? But I must put here a plus to tell the examiner that I've only written down 3 terms. There are actually more terms than this. Okay? There are more than this. How many are there altogether? It's always 1 more than the power. There are 11 terms. Okay? Just for information. Okay, now once I've done this, I can press calculator whatever I can press. I can press this on my calculator times this. Of course, anything to the power of 0 is 1. And then any number choose 0 is also 1. That's why the answer is x to the power of 20. Okay, you learn in Emaths, this bracket, then this 10 here means 2 times 10. Alright? Press calculator, 10 choose 1 times minus 2, you get minus 20. Then this of course is x to the power 18, so on and so forth. Alright? So as you can see, as I was saying just now, this method is wrong. Okay, why wrong? Because if I put the x square here, this x square will be in descending order. They want ascending order. Okay, so how do I rectify this problem? So this is wrong. I'm just showing you, okay, that it is wrong and that the position that you put the terms, there's one, there are 2 terms here, 1 term, 2 terms, right? It's important. So the minus 2, if I put it in front, and then the x square, I put it at the back, using our AND analogy, the AND head, so I never memorized any formula last time. I use all these animals whatever to help me remember things. Okay, that's why I never had to study. I just go for exam. Alright, so this first term is going to decrease. The power that I put here is going to decrease. Okay, but I'm not interested in this term. I'm only interested in the power of x. And I want the power of x to be ascending order. I want it to increase. Is it increasing if I put it here? Yes, it is increasing. Just now when I put it here, it was decreasing. Okay, so that's why I need to swap it around. Okay, not normally in O level they arrange very nicely for you This is for school exam if you want to make things difficult for you. Alright, so for the O level, not to worry. Normally they put like that, right? It's already arranged nicely for you already, so not to worry. Okay, but for the sake of studying from basic, I need to teach you this. Okay, now how do I do it? Very simple. They want the first 3 terms. I must have 3 binomial coefficient. Okay, then put a continue here. Alright, then what do I put here? 10 choose 0, 10 choose 1, 10 choose 2, finish. Okay, whether ascending or descending, it's always 0, 1, 2, like that. Okay, next. Minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Is the power descending? Yes. So it starts from 10, then 9, then 8. Alright, I do the next one, which is x squared. Yes, this is our key thing because now my power is increasing. That I want increasing, ascending order. And this will be starting from 0, 1, 2. Alright, and press calculator, get this answer. Press calculator, you press calculator only for those numbers. Okay, the algebra, right, you have to work out your own. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. That's why there's no more x here. Then x squared, you square it. I would advise you to write at the same level, then you know that it's times, because bracket here means times, right? So that's it. Put a plus here to show that there are more terms here, but you're not showing it because the question only requires first 3 terms. Okay, that's it, full marks. Okay, please show this working because you get marks for this. And this working, please make sure you do everything correctly. In between, right, there's no need for working, alright? But if you want to play safe, you can write lah. But I find that it's a waste of time. You just make sure that you press correctly, write correctly, use the method that I taught you. You should not make any mistake, okay? Now, the next one is where some thinking is required. And normally, these are the kind of questions they give you lah. Okay, they say hence. Hence means you must use this earlier part, the result, right? They want you to find the coefficient of the x to the power of 4 term in the expansion of this. Now, what do they mean? Okay, they want you to expand this and this, okay? And then they want the number that is in front of your x to the power of 4. This is what we call the coefficient. So that's what they mean. Okay? Sounds simple enough. And because of this word hence here, and then can you see that this thing here is exactly the same as this thing here? Which means that it's actually this, which is actually this. So I can actually cut and paste this answer here to replace this. Okay, with this. Can you see that? And this thing here, I cannot leave it like that. And of course, this thing, please don't go and use binomial. If you use binomial, I don't know. I don't know what to say. This one only binomial. It's very easy. Square this. You learn in Sec 2. Square this. This times 2. So it's plus 4x plus 4. Okay? So no need binomial. Don't use binomial, please. Okay, then after this, that's when you have to use the rainbow method. You only want the x to the power of 4. So don't be so hardworking, go and show everything. No, we only selectively choose the x to the power of 4 terms. Okay, we only choose the things that we want. It's like a job interview or a DSA interview or whatever, poly interview or whatever interview you're going for next time. This times this is not going to give me x4. I don't want. Yes, this 2 I'm interested because it's going to give me x to the power of 4. So you take 1x squared times minus 5120x squared. That's going to give me x to the power of 4, right? Then done already. No other things, this fella considered done already, because no other things you combine with the rest, right? It's never going to give you x4, no more. Okay, now next your turn. You combine with who can give x4? Nobody. So sorry, none of your business. This one none of your business. Now you combine with you, cannot. No? Yes. You see? So you plus 4 times 11520x about 4. This combined with this is going to give you this, which is what they want. Okay? Now you have to put a plus ... here to tell people or tell the examiner that, hey, there are other things here, but I'm not interested in the rest. I'm only interested in the x to the power of 4. Okay? And please do not leave your answer like that. If you leave your answer like that, we will not give you the answer mark because they want coefficient. They don't want the term. This thing is called the term. If they ask you for the x4 term, this is your answer. But if they ask you for the coefficient, it means the number in front of that x to the power of 4. So it's 40960. Okay? So that's it for this particular question. Finish already. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. We will only do 3 questions for this video because I've only done 3 questions in the Zoom. Okay, the first 3 terms so remember you only need to do binomial expansion for the first 3 terms. Okay, the rest you're not interested. And it must be ascending powers of x. So make sure later that the powers are in increasing order. Okay, for the powers of x. And you are interested in expanding this. Oh, but for this particular question, they already give you the answer. Alright? So what to do? So you don't care about the answer first. You just understand that, oh, they give me the answer. So you do as if you are not given the answer. You do as if they never give you this. Okay, they never give you this. Then you yourself expand it. Now, how do I expand this? You only want the first three terms, right? So let us do the very simple factory style. 1, 2, 3 binomial coefficients. Am I right? Okay, you use my method, actually really is very simple. Then this number 5 is going to be here. Always start from 0. 5 choose 0. 5 choose 1. 5 choose 2. That's it. Okay, so you have done the first binomial, the first thing that you have done is the binomial coefficient. The next thing you need to do is the first term here, then later the second term here. And remember, if you can't, you need an analogy, you use the end. You use the end. Okay, you can draw this in pencil. What I do in red color, you can draw in pencil here, the end. So decreasing power, 3, I write 3 first, factory method, then don't get confused. And I know that the power is going to decrease, so it's 5, 4, 3. That's it. Okay, then the last thing I need to do is AX. So you do things systematically like what I'm doing now, you will not make any mistake, and you will get, this will give you answer mark. Okay, it's either 1 or 2 marks in the exams. Alright, now normally it's 1 mark. Now this one starts from 0. Okay, these two must add up to 5. Okay, then next higher power 1, then 2. Okay, notice this always add up to this always add up to this always add up to this. Alright, after you're done this, press calculator, and that's all there is to it. All the numbers that you can press calculator. So this one you can press calculator. This one cannot. Anything to the power of 0, you know is 1. So no more x here. This one can press calculator, this one can press calculator, this one cannot. So it's just ax. Press calculator, this one cannot. This one, just take note, you can square them individually because they are multiplied together. If it's a plus or minus, then you cannot do this, yeah? Okay, so once you have pressed the calculator correctly, you should get this answer. Please check that you can get this. Now, the question already tells us that the answer is this, right? So you can actually put it here, okay? And now you can compare this with this and get the answer for A. Similarly, compare this with this and get the answer for B. Okay, that's all there is to this question. Now, this binomial topic is actually a very simple topic, okay? The only thing is that they will turn and twist the question something like that. Sometimes they give you the answer, okay? In the next worksheet, the first worksheet that I've given you is an easy one. The next worksheet that I've given you, right? Then when we do the specific terms and all that, then it gets a little bit harder. Okay, so it's all about turning and twisting around the question to see whether you know how to be flexible in thinking and then solve using whatever you know. But actually what you know is simply this. It's all here. That's all you need to know actually.